Hello everyone, this is Sandman 99,
And I'm Ep55.
and we're back with more adventures of G9-13. And when we last left you, we were at the bottling plant in Nuka World, but we managed to obtain the syrup shipment for Mr. Dr. Pepper. And then, of course, I had to do the usual rescue settlements and settlement maintenance stuff. Errand running. So
you're carrying around all of these big giant crates of Nuka-Cola stuff around with you everywhere, like pack ramen.
That's right. While doing all these other wonderful things.
But, so I guess we'll be continuing with the Bleachers storyline today.
Yes, we are nearly done, actually. We have one more quest to do, and then that storyline will be finished.
I see. That will be the time when you try to install a mod.
Yes, I will
which was
then
the,
attempt to install the Fens Sheriff Department.
Which is the update for this, or the expansion, or the part 2, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. But anyway, here's Mr. Dr. Pepper, so we need to talk to him.
I must say, you have the looks of someone who just hauled back way too much liquid from a post-apocalyptic theme park overrun by raiders.
Here it is.
Holy shit, that's a big shipment. I'm not gonna ask where you stored it. There's obviously more here than was on the invoice. Let me see here. Gonna add up this haul real quick if you don't mind. Stick around, you made a lot of money today, my friend. Per case. Math and shit. I hate thinking. God damn. There's enough soda here to keep the diner stocked for the rest of my life. Easily. Classic, Quantum, Quartz, and Victory. All of them.
You've got to be kidding.
Nah, for real. We have just a trickle of the World Series crowd this was packed for. Nuclear holocausts are bad for the restaurant business, you know. Forget those bulky bottles I've been using. This stuff is so concentrated, each of these bags can make stacks in my bottle carrying crates. The roughly 250,000 servings these crates contain will last for, well, over a century if the math Bob showed me how to do is right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I wasn't sure the crates would even be there. But I'm looking at more than I ever thought still existed. Right here. I don't know what else to say.
Wow.
Here. I was saving this stash for the schmuck running against McDonough next election day. Take it. You earned it.
Well,
Still
there you
got
go.
work for you if you're interested.
Wow, I just got
This
another
working soda
15.
fountain is going to be a thing now for a bit with the CO2 I already have. With a couple of pots, we can make our own.
Oh, look at that. I just got some more.
Come see me when you're ready.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to reset the game now because I just ran into that dialogue targeting reticle bug. So we'll pause for a moment.
All right. And we're back.
Yes, and I have my pointer back again. So now we can maybe talk to Mr. Dr. Pepper again. Mr. Dr. Pepper.
Hi.
Our lone wanderer returns. What can I do for you?
Well,
Let's get down to business.
Sure thing. We talking trade or service?
Got any work?
I sure do. One last big score and I should be able to make everything I need to turn that syrup you got me into soda for the rest of my life. Thanks to you, I got enough CO2 to last me a few months. That isn't much help long term. So I spoke to the doc about making the stuff. I've already got some of the parts. Others like flaming fuel I can get from Myrna. But some of that shit is hard to come by. So I need your help. You see, I need the parts that fit the assemblies I already got for generating CO2, which is a separate machine from the soda fountain. The good news is the parts are all in the same spot. Probably. If the scaver I paid the info for was to be trusted. And he's usually good. The bad news? You're going into the heart of the beast, my friend. Right to the nerve center of the great Satan himself. A pilgrim in an unholy land.
I did you a favor, so how about you do one for me? Start making some sense.
I'm talking the Vim factory. Where taste buds go to die. That's a haunted island, my friend. Restless ghosts roam the forest mist, cursed forever. They say the screams from the first Vim taste test echo through the woods still today. Rumor has it many a soul was lost at that sampling event. The island was commemorated every year to this day with a dark holiday. The Great Widowmaking.
You've got to be kidding me.
No, I'm serious. There's supposed to be a big Child of Adam cult up there. They have a Vim drinking initiation ritual. They They say it drives them insane. They think they see the face of Adam. But really, they probably got food poisoning or tripping balls from their shrooms. Still, I don't doubt it's the Vim what drives them mad. Worshipping radiation and shit.
Just tell me what you need help with.
That's my general. I don't know much about that place. It's pretty far away for the small world we live in these days. I just know what I hear from the merchant rumors. I lived in Diamond City my whole life. I remember Nick Valentine had dealings with someone crazy enough to go up there a long time ago. If you don't already know how to get up there, you might want to stop by asking him about his business associate. Maybe that'll get you started.
Well, go figure. So he's full of shit, but he needs you to retrieve this thing for him.
Yep. And now I've got to eat because it must be lunchtime. We'll have some crispy cave cricket. There. Yeah, I had so much stuff to cook, I actually had to drop a bunch of it off because I couldn't carry it all. Anyway, we'll pause briefly while we go back out into the world.
All right. And we're back, and actually that wasn't that long of a pause at all.
No, but you never know.
True. I think
Anyway.
it's mostly just when you leave Diamond City to be the big bad one.
Yeah. Just having a quick look at some things here. Okay.
I'm surprised you had so much food to cook that you couldn't carry it all. Look at you with your draft of the Brahmin, you can...
Yeah, I know, but you know what? When I finally got around to cooking all that Mirelurk, I had like 65 cooked Mirelurk things, right?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, it was like, there was a lot.
You could be eating Mirelurk for the rest of your life. What are you doing carrying around other food items?
Yeah.
Or I guess the Mirelurk is heavy or what?
Well, I mean, when you carry that much of it around, anything is heavy if you carry enough of it. Okay, well, I've got lots of 45 rounds, so by the looks of it, it looks like this is probably going to have to be my favorite gun for a while.
All right.
Because I've got 500 rounds of 45 ammunition here. So.
Yep.
You keep looking at me like that, I'm gonna start thinking you're a simp.
So anyway, normally to get to Far Harbor, I think most people will go and rescue Nick Valentine, which is something we haven't done yet.
Yep.
And then they will go up, they'll go all the way out to Fort Hagen and kill Kellogg. And then they'll eventually be able to go up to Far Harbor. But I think you can just go straight there. Because I seem to remember, who was it? The Spiffing Brit did a thing on how to make a pipe gun into a MIRV launcher.
Yeah,
And,
he did.
And with the exploit, he was able at first level to just go to Far Harbor. So we're gonna try that.
All right.
We're gonna pause for a moment while we go outside of the park, though.
And we're back.
Yes, and that was a fairly long one.
Yeah, I think it's mostly just like when you're in the area around Diamond City, or I guess the center of the Commonwealth here, like Commonwealth Central type area, and you go in and out of buildings, that's when you seem to get the long load screens, and I have no idea why.
Yeah.
Because you've been in and out of places in other areas, and you don't get long load screens.
Well, and you know what? That particular load screen actually lasted longer than it takes to boot up the whole game from cold.
Yeah.
Right? So,
And you don't even get a actual loading screen during them, too. You just get a black screen.
yeah. Yeah, something happened to my in-game loading screens. I don't get in-game loading screens anymore. I just get a black screen with the little Fallout sign in the bottom right corner.
Yep.
Something happened there. But I do have some mods that are supposed to add loading screen things, so maybe there's a conflict there or something.
Possibly. Well, at least it doesn't break the whole game.
Yeah. Anyway, actually, you know what? It might have been shorter to make our way up that way by going this way instead. Because it's a pretty long roundabout way the other way. Whereas this way I can just kind of follow along the river until I get to the bridge that takes me over to Bunker Hill, and then I can head north from there. So yes, we're going to try that exploit to see if we can just go straight to Far Harbor without having to take a rather long side trip into the main quest line here.
Do you even remember how we got there? I don't remember. I seen that episode of Spiffing Brit, like, I don't know, must have been over a year ago.
I think he just went there.
Well, I suppose we'll have to see how this all turns out. And if nothing else, I'm sure you'll shoot a lot of things dead on the way.
Yeah, well, you know what? There's always something to shoot here at the Backstreet Apparel.
Backstreet Apparel. There's always something to shoot.
Yeah.
Right? That could be their advertising slogan.
It just seems like no matter how many raiders I kill here, there's always more.
And a rocket launcher. Oh, no, not this time.
No rocket launcher, but I can still disarm the brace.
So the rocket launcher hadn't respawned yet, but the brace did.
Yeah. Oh, and look at the string there is respawned too.
Jeez.
So, there we go.
You know, I think we learned last time just how important it is to get that sneak perk where you don't set off mines.
Yep. Yeah, we definitely had a good demonstration of that.
Yeah, you walked right over top of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good to not set off mines.
Nothing. Damn.
Life is good when you're in one piece.
Yeah. Oh, and I managed to increase my chemistry to the 4th level too. Which means now at the chemistry workbench I can make some really good new powerful potions.
Nice.
Like ones that can increase your special abilities by a single point permanently. And I've already done that. I had the materials to make a couple of them. And so I managed to make one of luck and one of charisma. But I didn't have the materials. Like, you need rather a lot of materials and specific materials in order to be able to make these. And
they're really an endgame type of item.
They're an endgame type of item, yeah. I mean, you can't make them until you get the 4th level chemist perk, and then even once you can, you need a lot of ingredients.
Yeah, they're very expensive.
And some of the ingredients are uncommon to rare.
Yep.
You know, like Brahmin skulls and that kind of thing aren't exactly things that you trip over every other block. Right?
Yep.
Oh, now I gotta have a drink of water.
Not carrying around all that Nuka-Cola anymore?
No, I actually, you can make really good drugs out of Nuka-Cola. That's what one of the, like, Nuka-Cola is one of the ingredients to make overdrive.
Oh, okay.
And overdrive gives you a big buff to your damage and a big buff to your critical chance.
So you just made a whole shitload of that.
So yeah, I like overdrive, okay? Overdrive, like I said before, Psycho Jet, there is no substitute. Well, overdrive is pretty good too.
See, how do they know where the bullet came from?
I don't know.
All they saw was a guy totally explode. It makes you wonder.
They can sure run sideways fast though, hey?
Ah. Well, there, you got one.
Yeah.
They still don't see you, though. Guess you're pretty good at sneaking.
Something else just blew up somewhere nearby.
Yeah, it was, forward and to the right, I think. Or maybe on the other side of this building, but I thought it was forward and to the right.
Well.
Sounds like it actually might have been on the other side of the building, though. Somebody's in a fight.
You'll run out of bullets at some point.
Yeah, there's a good gun battle going on over here somewhere. Ugh. Probably over in front of Abbott House here, because that seems to be a hotspot. And eventually these robots, even though they're... oh, okay, it looks like it's super mutants versus raiders.
Time to reload?
Time to reload.
Alright.
These guys like to charge too, so yeah, see? Hey, come back here.
So I bet you it was the robot you heard blow up, maybe.
Probably. Somebody else shooting over there. But anyway, we'll loot these guys up here. Rust Devils. Yeah, might have been Rust Devil robots that were exploding too. It looks like this is just a super mutant random encounter here. Oh, there's a Rust Devil there. There, got them all.
I think that super mutant was shooting at that Rust Devil and inadvertently hit you.
Oh, well. Actually, with all that, I'm surprised I only got hit once. Yeah, okay, well, oops.
Well, you got an assault rifle out of it.
Yeah,
Be worth selling or breaking down or whatever.
I tend to keep those and give them to settlers, actually.
Ah, okay, well there you go.
Yeah. You wouldn't believe how effective a group of settlers defending a settlement that are all armed with assault rifles are.
Yeah, well they're kind of like a built-in homemade militia, right?
Yeah. So, there's a couple of things that I can stop and sell. Gotta get cleaned up now. There, how's that? That's better. There's a couple of things I can stop and sell here, like legendary items, and then I'll probably stop at County Crossing and just break down some of these weapons and armor that I picked up. And store a few things in the workbench there, because settlers have a tendency to take things out of the workbench when they need them.
Yep.
So I don't have to run around and arm every single settler. They'll quite often arm themselves, although occasionally I have to check on them, because they'll take all the ammunition for a particular gun. So you'll end up with a settler with a laser pistol and 752 fusion cells or something,
I'll
right?
take a look.
Jeez.
Sure.
You may have to dig a little, but I got some choice stuff in there.
Yeah. Well... There we go. We'll sell this thing. I think that'll be okay. Good enough.
Well, you're certainly getting good use out of that combat rifle anyways.
Oh yeah, I like combat rifles. They're one of the, like I've said before, they're one of the best weapons in the game. They're not necessarily the highest tier weapons, but they are one of the most versatile weapons.
Well, it makes good for sniping work, at least by the looks of it.
Yep.
You're stuck.
I'm stuck.
Stuck on that imaginary wall.
Stuck on that umbrella there. I couldn't go. I couldn't go past that umbrella.
Or at least you couldn't go under it.
Yeah.
That's weird. I don't know. You see weird shit like that sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know if I need it or not, but I actually saw a mod in the Nexus for Fallout New Vegas that enables a character to crawl through spaces that they should be able to normally fit through when they're crouched. So obviously somebody saw a need for that kind of thing. It's like, and it's probably that kind of situation, right? Mm-hmm. Where you crouch and it looks like you should fit through something, but your collision box is too tall, so you can't get through it.
Yeah, a lot of old games were like that actually, because they used to just, because I was actually educated on this kind of thing back when I was first going to school for the whole programming thing. I took some game development classes, and one of the really common things that used to be done in the old days was they'd basically just use a box for collision. It would just be like a box, and if the box was a little bit too tall or a little bit too wide or whatever, well, too bad, you can't crawl into that space, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it made the games run better, right? You could allocate those resources to other things, but it had some gameplay sacrifices that were associated with it. So it's a careful balance between those things. Maybe you want to have better graphics, or maybe you want to add some other things. Maybe you want to use that processing for AI or physics or something. But as a result, you're going to have less precise collision, right? It's all a trade-off.
Yeah.
Of course, I think back when they did that, things were even more limited than Fallout New Vegas. Like, we're talking like early 2000s games. Maybe even earlier. I don't know if they did the box thing for New Vegas. If they did the box thing for New Vegas, it might actually have just been lazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Could have been.
So far, I haven't really run into that as being a big problem for me playing that game, though. And so far, I mean, I know I've said this before, but so far I haven't really seen a whole lot of, whoops, I need those. A whole lot of really bad shortcomings for that game. You know, for the time that it was made, right?
Mm.
And you know, so I really don't have a whole lot of mods for that game yet.
I'm sure you'll get some over time.
Yeah, maybe.
You'll build up your collection.
But mostly all I did was I installed the basic, like the most popular Type 3 body replacer. And, you know, like the most popular outfit replacer, I guess, that matches the Type 3 body.
Yeah.
And, you know, a few other standalone type of outfits and that kind of thing. But for the most part, that game actually seems to have such a variety of weapons. And they're all more or less available pretty early in the game, too. Right? You know, like I noticed that it's not quite like Fallout 4 where you don't see a 44 revolver until you're like level 25, right?
Yeah.
You know,
it's
like
not as harshly divided.
Yeah, exactly. The amount of damage and damage per second and all that kind of stuff that most of the weapons do is actually close enough that you know, you're not constantly looking to upgrade weapons all the time. At least that's the feeling that I get. I mean, I've only played the game maybe for a couple 100 hours now, but it just doesn't feel as arms racy as this game does.
There's a big difference I did notice, because like I played for a couple hours, and I ended up getting a whole bunch of caps, and then I found a merchant, and I ended up buying like I think it was called a battle rifle.
Uh-huh.
And the power difference between the battle rifle and the weapons that you're using before that, like the varmint rifle and stuff, that's a pretty steep difference. Right? So I think it's like the really high level stuff, but I don't think normally you'd be able to get one of those unless you actually were wealthy and just weren't spending your caps on other things, right? Like, normally, unless you're higher level, that sort of thing wouldn't be available to you. But it was available to me, and I bought it, damn it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did.
Yeah, well, I found that I'm able to one-shot most enemies from ambush with the varmint rifle.
Yeah.
You know, if I got the scope for it and a silencer, and you can actually shoot enemies from a hell of a long ways away with that thing, too. Like, it's a very long-range weapon. Anyway, I'm just going to show some of the recipes that I have available now.
Oh, for your alchemy thing.
Yeah. So these ones are ones that I had before, but now I can make grenade-like missiles that behave an awful lot like Molotov cocktails, but they have different effects. So this one, the Alchemy Firebomb, is the most basic one, and it does a lot of fire damage. It doesn't do any energy damage, which is basically the base for most other weapons in the, like, fire, quote-unquote fire type weapons in the game.
Yeah,
They don't actually do fire damage, they do energy damage.
But this actually does
But this
fire
does
damage.
actual fire damage.
Which
is
makes
why
it incredibly dangerous.
Which is why you need rank 2 chemist in order to make them, right? And then, of course, we've got temporary boosts. These are all temporary buffs that last 8 minutes.
Yep.
Got a potion of slow time, which works kind of like Jet, except that it doesn't have the nasty addictive effects. I could make, if I had the components, I could make a freeze bomb, which does cold damage. Right? I can also make well, I can't make that yet because I need medic. But this is basically a healing potion that recovers all of your health and recovers it almost instantaneously.
Yep.
So, and anyway, I can, if I had enough science, I could make a plasma bomb as well, and you'll notice that it does energy damage, right? As does the shock bomb. And then, of course, eventually, if you get all the right perks, you can make an alchemy nuclear bomb. Although I'm no ways away from that yet. However, I can make elixirs of special items. So elixir of agility, elixir of charisma. I need one more Brahmin skull, and then I'll be able to increase my endurance by 1 point permanently.
Nice.
And, of course, you got intelligence, luck, and they need all kinds of things. Like, in order to make an elixir of luck, you need 20 day trippers, as well as some more common items, right?
All that day tripper.
Yeah. For an elixir of perception, you need 20 orange mentats and 4 Nuka-Cola quantums. Right?
Yeah, you basically wouldn't be able to make that before you went to Nuka World.
Oh yeah, you find enough Nuka-Cola quantums. It's the orange mentats that are tough to collect.
Ah.
And then this one, elixir of strength, you need 20 buff outs and 4 Yao Guai meat. So anyway, I haven't quite maxed out my abilities with the
Interesting.
alchemy thing yet, but it's getting there. Yeah, okay. I can collect some money from these guys because I have the stores there, right? They generate caps.
Nice.
As well as happiness and that kind of thing.
Well, the happiness is the big thing.
And this one here is getting to the point where I'm almost at the maximum build size for this settlement too.
Yep.
And when you look at it, it really doesn't look like I've built all that much, right?
Yeah, you built some guard areas and some crops and a couple of stores. It's like a tiny little village.
Yeah, kind of.
And even the accommodations aren't necessarily like that big.
All quiet, General.
Well, no, it's boxcar living, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll just see here, because I think I had a new settler, so we'll need to, need to find him a job.
it just kind of goes though to show how small some of the settlement size limits are.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, this is another one that if you can increase your charisma enough, I've had the ability to attract as many as like 39 or 40 settlers to a settlement. And you know, like if you need to build enough accommodations to hold that many settlers, you know, that's at that point that's when I might have to do the little console command thing to expand the build limit again, right?
yeah, yeah.
Anyway, I need to drink some water now again and eat some more food, so I'm going to conserve my water by drinking water out of this water pump instead.
Got to have all that water when you go across the way to Far Harbor.
That's right, because you never know. And what are we going to eat? Well, we'll eat. I saved some of my cooked Mirelurk. So I'm carrying a pretty heavy load here, but I've got a lot of ammunition.
Out here, you gotta take things one day at a
Right?
time.
Like if I carried the normal amount of ammunition that I'd be carrying, I probably would be carrying a lot less stuff.
Yeah.
Right? But, you know, like I've got 375, I've got 500 rounds of 45 ammunition, I got 158 shotgun shells. I just want to make sure I have enough because I'm going into a tough area.
Yeah, you're expecting to shoot things a lot.
And there's a lot of enemies in Far Harbor that I think you will have to
Got the
shoot
area
a
covered.
lot in order to kill them.
Fair enough, fair enough.
And I guess we'll maybe stop for the night here at because it's getting toward evening, I think. Yeah, 6 p.m. We'll stop
Don't
for the
get the wrong
night
idea.
at the slog here.
So you don't get ambushed by vampires.
That's right. And we'll check the slog workbench to see if there's any 7.62s in there, because I've got this wonderful new toy that I got from that guy in charge of the pack, and I don't have very much ammunition for it.
Yep.
One of these days I'll have to finish building that big, huge plant.
Hey man, it's
so
been
that I can-
it's been worth it, man. You just got to do it.
Yeah.
You're gonna regret not doing it earlier if you don't hurry up on that.
Yeah, really, eh? Uh-oh.
Wow, there's a bunch of them. They're a little more persistent than the normal kind, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, these ones are pretty tough, actually. I have a very high degree of armor, which is probably why I'm able to, you know, get through this okay, because I think these critters do a lot of damage, too.
Yeah, this is just one of those encounters that the game spawns when it's like, well, it's time to kill you now.
Well, it's, this is one of those, you know, like, random encounter hotspot type places.
Yep.
And a lot of times you'll see robots there, or super mutants, or
Other disgustingly tough
in this
things.
case, yeah, like you don't see the albino dogs until you're pretty high level. But because I've got ballistic weave armor and all that kind of good stuff, you know, like I've got 1300. I've got about the equivalent of a T45 power armor set on.
Yep.
So, you know, like it's harder for them to damage me. Okay. Oh, we got a few. Not a lot, but
A few.
yeah. Well, I've got one magazine full plus a few extra rounds on that thing.
It's a very colorful gun.
Yep. Oh, it holds 75 rounds. The drum magazine on the Problem Solver holds 75 rounds. So now I've got to take some antibiotics because obviously one of those dogs gave me some sort of infection.
And then you gotta drink some more
And then
water.
I got to drink some more water, but you know what? That's what the water fountains are for.
This is what being general, one of the perks of being general, you get free water.
Yeah.
Alright, Preston Garvey's like, we need you to kill all these things and build up all these settlements and do all this construction work and all this other crap, and the only perk we're gonna give you in return is free water.
That's right. So, anyway, I don't think that there's anything new with this one because I don't think I even put a recruitment beacon up at this location. So it's just the original settlers here still.
How's the happiness here?
They're doing well.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
I guess there's enough of them here that they're not going to be unhappy.
Yeah. Well, I could build another radio, maybe. I've got the stereo there. That's what's playing Diamond City Radio right now.
Yeah, yeah.
But one of the things I learned from reading is if you want your settlements to have high happiness, you can in fact stack these things. Like you can have multiple stores of the same type and multiple drink stands, multiple of everything really.
Yep.
Including items that any item that generates happiness, I guess. If you have multiple of them, then their effects tend to stack.
All the radios, all the time.
That's right, all the radios.
Alright, you just walk into this place and it's like a rock concert on the inside.
Hey, when I was very young, and I was living out on my own, and I didn't have very much money, and I didn't have a stereo, but I had a couple of clock radios, and I found that you could actually, if you put them on opposite sides of the room and tune them to the same station, and turn them both up fairly loud, that you could actually get a room-filling sound.
It's stereo.
It wasn't stereo, and it wasn't the greatest quality sound in the world, but it worked.
It was loud.
Yeah. That was a very long time ago.
Well, hey, you know what? Whatever, it's better than nothing, right?
Yeah. Back even when FM radio was actually a relatively new thing. That's how much the world has changed in my lifetime anyway. Because I can remember a time when, at least in the part of the world that I live in, FM radio even wasn't there. You know, there weren't any FM radio stations around until I was already an adult.
Yep.
So that's right, folks. I'm an old man.
Ah, well, we all get there someday.
Yeah, much to my surprise. Actually. Okay, we're going to take a shortcut through here. Since this place is deserted anyway.
Are you fucking kidding me?
What? Well, okay, maybe
Yeah,
not,
are you fucking
maybe
kidding
not
me?
quite deserted. Shoot that raider, I guess.
I don't think that's the reaction I would have if I saw a lone person with a gun.
Wow, that guy must have picked up a break action laser off of somebody. Well, I'll
Yeah,
take
probably off of one of the dead people here.
Yeah.
One of the dead mercenaries.
I'll take his ammunition, but I don't really need to pick up that other stuff.
Yeah, what a reaction, eh?
Okay, now I think I need to follow the freeway here a bit. Uh-oh.
Oh shit.
Ooh, that's a big one too, hey?
Yeah, you're gonna need a bigger gun.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with this. And,
Cripple the shit out of it.
yeah.
I'll just cripple the shit out of it so that it can't run after me.
That's right.
Well, there you go. That's actually a use for these types of legendary effects, right?
Yep.
Your opponent can't pursue you, then they can't kill you.
Yeah, and then I can just shoot him with my shotgun. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, man.
And that, folks, is what the kneecapper legendary effect does,
Yep.
right? Scavenger's Journal. This is like one of those interesting things where you need to like activate that thing and then it'll look for stuff for you, right? I think if I remember right.
I see.
Scavenger's Journal. These schematics were one hell of a find. If this thing works, I'm going to be rich. I just need to hire some mercenaries to tail the eyebot and snag whatever it finds. I suppose I'll have to give them a cut. 10 or 20% ought to be enough. I wish I didn't have to build this thing all the way out here, though. I swear those crazy bots have been following me since I left Good Neighbor. What do they want? So, I think what happens is this thing, if you can get it to work, it will actually look for specific junk items for you and bring them back here.
Oh, okay.
Right? Although what use that is, like way out here in the middle of nowhere, I really don't know. But that's what it does. Anyway, we found our way to a road.
Roads. Psh.
Well, they are a handy way to be able to keep track of where you're going.
Just go straight from point A to point B. Bunch of monsters and other things,
Well,
raiders trailing you.
Unless you're not sure exactly where point B is.
See, that's what you need. You need a horse.
Yeah, there's no horses in Fallout 4.
Yeah, you could download a mod for it.
I don't think so. I don't think I've ever seen one, actually.
There you go. Somebody's got to make a horse mod.
No, it's actually Skyrim that has this guy. I think he's called Mikhail something or other, but he has Mikhail's mods.
Yeah.
And he has created, like, I don't know how many mods, but there must be, several dozen by now. And they introduce all sorts of new creatures into the game.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I've never tried any of them myself, but, like, he's prolific enough. And, that when I'm browsing the mods kind of weekly.
Behind you.
Oh, okay, you sneaky little shit. Take that.
I'm surprised you didn't hear him coming.
I was busy talking. So I was distracted.
Shooting at that guy, and he can't do anything about it.
Yeah, apparently not. But he's a legendary guy, so we'll go for a swim out there and see what it is exactly that he's got. Oh, okay. Well, it probably wasn't really worth it, but I suppose
It wasn't worth the bullets.
No, I suppose I can probably sell it, though.
Well, hey, you know what was worth it, though, is the screwdriver, obviously.
Yeah, well, see, I'm so hung up about how much I hate super mutants that I'm wearing all armor pieces that have damage reduction from super mutants.
Yep.
And, really, as far as I'm concerned, damage reduction legendaries on armor are the best. And I really don't see what the point is on a lot of the other things. Like for me personally anyway, I've never really...
Yeah, basically damage reduction, padded, dense.
Yeah, exactly.
Things that keep you alive.
Yeah. Because these other things, these other special effects and things that you can get from some of this stuff
They don't hardly mean
is
anything.
You know, like they may seem like a cool thing on the surface, but they don't really do anything to keep you alive. But anyway, we're nearly there now.
It's been quite the journey.
Well, it's a long ways, right? Although this has been a somewhat more peaceful journey than some journeys are.
Oddly enough.
Yeah. Well, either that or else I'm getting to be tough enough now that I can wade through most things without too much
Knock
trouble.
on wood, man. Or not wood.
Yeah. Well,
You
I've
never
got
know.
I've got my commando.
Come in. I
My-
know you're listening on the other end.
I've got my
Where
commando
is she?
boonie with
Where
me
is
for
my
reduction
daughter?
of damage from mirelurks.
Been at this for hours.
So
Stop.
I feel
Need
pretty well
sleep.
prepared.
She's out there, Ray. Someone has her. What? Who are you? I'm sorry, but we don't.
Why
have
did you
time
come
for
into my
visitors or
house?
caravans or wherever you're from.
You were shouting about a missing daughter? What happened?
A good Samaritan? Fine.
Heh,
I'm out of
a
options.
raider.
If you
You're
want
a
to
raider.
know, my daughter is
Good
missing.
Samaritan.
It all started with this damn radio.
Our daughter Kasumi likes to fix things. The radio was her latest project.
Until she made contact with some kidnapper who lured her away from us.
Or maybe she left on her own. She's not a child anymore. Our daughter is 19. She knows how to survive, and she's capable. I think maybe she left because she wanted her own life.
No, she would have told us where she was going. She would have said something. I know my daughter is in danger. I can feel it. Find her, please.
I'll find her.
No
Don't you
problem.
worry.
No extortion
Thank you.
required.
Her room is upstairs if that helps. And if you had any more questions about her, just ask.
Okay. Well, I guess we can look for some clues. You left behind all these holotapes.
Hello? Testing? Project log. Holotape player. Managed to strip out the parts from this thing and make something that's easier to move around. Granddad always said you need to make a record when you start something. You know, in case you have to go back to it. So,
That doesn't
I
really look like a clue.
guess I'm going to start doing that.
That looks more like her talking about her projects that she's tried, right?
All the parts I found?
Kasumi! Your father needs help with the boat.
I'll be right there. Oh, damn.
Okay. Dreams. That one looks like it might be a clue.
Project log, dreams. Recording what
I sleep on a dirty mattress.
I keep having the same one.
Everybody sleeps on a dirty mattress.
In a
It's
white
Fallout 4.
Standards are low. People live in crumbling ruins and sleep on dirty mattresses.
Yeah.
And then there's this, I don't know, jolt, like a spark of electricity to the back of my head, and then everyone turns to look at me. God, I hope I don't have it again tonight.
Okay. This looks like it might be a clue, too.
Project log? Radio. Correction, working radio. I'll finally get some news outside this house. My handle is going to be, let's go with Ohm's Law. That should confuse the creeps. And if someone actually gets the reference, then we'll at least have circuitry in common.
Okay. Maybe that wasn't a clue. Let's talk to these guys some more.
Mr. Nakano.
Did you have questions? About my daughter?
Anything more you could tell me about Kasumi? The smallest detail could be important.
I don't know what more to say. She's my little girl, and she doesn't know how dangerous this world is. I never should have let her grandfather teach her how to fix these machines.
Her grandfather? He taught her how to fix the radio?
Ever since she was old enough to walk, yes. Her grandfather had an ear for machines. Kasumi picked up the knack. He passed away recently. He used to scavenge the ruins in the south for parts. I kept telling him he was getting too old.
Tell me more about this radio she was fixing.
I've tried to get that damn thing to work over and over again, but there's nothing. I thought she just wanted to strip it for parts or build a toaster out of it, or something, like she usually does. Someone made contact with her, and then they took her. God, what kind of twisted psychopath has my daughter?
Why did your daughter really leave? Your wife said she left on her own, but you said it was kidnappers?
I know it was kidnappers. Kasumi is a smart girl, but she doesn't know how horrible people can be. Not like me and Ray. Why would she just leave her family with no explanation? Someone tricked her, got her to leave the safety of home. Every minute we aren't looking for my daughter, her life is in jeopardy.
No more questions right now.
Work quickly, Detective.
Okay. Well. There, I had a laser burn there.
Other people might notice these things, but I never notice these things.
Yeah. It's just like the blood, right? These things persist.
Yep.
Well. Okay. Well, let's have a look over here. After we have a drink of water.
Damn water.
Well, that's why I was conserving it when I could. Because you don't know where your next fresh water might be coming from, right?
No, maybe you'll find some.
Okay, well, let's see here. Note. If you ever get locked out of the safe, the answer is here in the boathouse. The picture is where the key is. Well, I don't need the key.
You can just
I can just pick the lock. Yeah. Unlike in Oblivion.
Sweet.
Oh, wow, look at that. Kasumi's final holotape. Okay, this looks like it's definitely a
Project
clue.
log? Myself. I never really thought about who or what I am, but God. Where do I start? The radio. I was right about the range. I managed to get a signal, a strong signal from up north. There's a group of people up there. They say they're all synthetic people, made by the Institute. They're trying to build a place for their kind, where they can be themselves and be accepted for what they are alongside human beings. It sounds wonderful, but then they started asking about me, and some questions came up. Questions I don't have answers to. I mean, I've always felt off, like I'm not really supposed to be here, but then there are things in my childhood I can't remember, and I've been having strange dreams. I'm going to go to meet these synths. I have to know the truth about myself. They've told me to sail up north to a town called Far Harbor. I can make my way to them from there.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
Your investigation? Did you find anything?
I think I know where Kasumi went. A place called Far Harbor?
She went that far up north? God, that explains why she took the boat. There's no time to waste. You have to go after her.
Wait, did you find out why she left, Detective? Who she was speaking to?
What does it matter?
Because I know my daughter, and if she didn't tell us where she went, then she had a reason. Don't you want to know if she wants to be found?
You're right, Detective. Did you find any clue to why Kasumi left home?
Your daughter made contact with a group of synths. She thinks she's one of them.
What? That's crazy.
She's not a synth. She's our daughter. We raised her. I I gave birth to her. She's flesh and blood, not a synthetic.
Maybe your daughter is just confused. Having an identity crisis.
Oh, God. Does she even think we're still her parents?
This is what I was afraid of. Someone twisting my daughter's mind. You have to get to Far Harbor. Take my ship on the dock.
There.
It has a
See,
guidance
I think this is how the
system.
spiffing Brit did it. Right?
Yep. This would be the way.
Yeah.
I'll get to the bottom of this, Kenji.
Thank you. I know you haven't asked for a payment, and we can't offer much. But here, please take it. I insist. For expenses, if nothing else.
I have no idea what's going to happen when we eventually go to rescue Nick Valentine.
Why, you think it's going to be horribly broken?
I don't know. I mean, it's pretty hard to predict when you jump ahead like this, right? But anyway, we're not going to worry about that for now. We're going to have something to eat. Some grilled nukalurk. See, I've got lots of grilled nukalurk. And we need to find some stairs down here so that we can get on the boat.
Stairs? You could just jump the railing. You'd be fine.
Yeah, I could, probably.
Stairs.
Okay, here we are in the boat. Boat controls. Let's go to Far Harbor. Oh, pardon me.
Excuse you.
Yeah, that was well brought up. Too bad I wasn't.
Fuck me. See, I like how you know how to steer a boat, or the boat knows how to steer itself.
Well, it's modern technology, right?
Yeah, you just plotted a course on those analog dials and instruments, and off you went.
That's right. Well, see, I've done some reading on the lore in this game, and in this particular version of Earth, they didn't come out with solid-state components and things like that the way they did in the real world.
Yeah, it was all vacuum tube
So
shit?
it's all basically vacuum tube shit and stuff like that. So I have no idea how they managed to miniaturize vacuum tubes so that you could have like something like a Pip-Boy that you could carry around on your arm and stuff like that. But
I don't have much clue on that, but I did see a actual, like, fairly recent vacuum tube computer, like one of the last ones that was put together, I think, and they actually had relatively small tubes, and they were soldered onto the board in such a way to make them take up the least amount of space, and then they all were like a bunch of cards that plugged into a or a back plane.
Yeah.
Right? And that was how they kept the machine compact. And then if you needed to replace the tubes or whatever, I guess you'd just take one of those cards out and do work on it and then fix it up and put it back in.
Put the damn gun down.
Which I guess is as good a way of doing it as any, right?
No, I suppose.
So I don't know. But imagine that, though. Imagine how many hundreds of pounds Codsworth weighs.
Yeah.
We don't need no freeloaders or more.
Well, you have to suspend your sense of disbelief somewhat to enjoy these games, right?
Yeah.
Alan, this isn't your dock. It belongs to the whole town. And that means strangers are welcome. Sorry, you've caught us during a difficult time. But Alan's got a point. Not all visitors have good intentions. So, what's your business here?
A young woman from the Commonwealth named Kasumi may have passed through here. Her family hired me to find her.
Some sort of detective, huh? Well, she came through here all right.
Yep.
Damn it. Mariners incoming.
Something's coming through the fog! You, help us defend the town, and I'll answer any questions you have. Take a post at the top of the wall, near the main gate. The hall never lets us down. Now follow me! Be careful on the hall, stranger. Don't fall off. If you do, we might not be able to rescue you in time.
If you do, you dead.
Something's out there.
Well, maybe this is a better gun for this kind of thing.
This ain't a drill.
The hell?
Eyes peeled, everyone.
Okay, everybody eyes peeled.
I don't see anything. What are we keeping our eyes peeled for?
I've got wounded out here.
Mariner, there's no time.
Look to the fog. They're coming.
Don't fall off.
Yeah, well, that guy's in the way.
Oh, there.
Still don't see anything. Oh. Well, I can lock on something. Oh, there
Right
we
there.
go.
Let's do this.
You or me?
All the Molotovs, all the time, including Molotoving themselves. Oop, careful not to friendly fire. Wow, these guys might blow you up. Yeah, they did blow you up.
Yeah, they're trying, aren't they?
I knew that was gonna happen. As soon as they started tossing the Molotovs, I'm like, they're gonna friendly fire themselves. I just knew it. And then they ended up friendly firing you.
You're in the way, okay? Why don't you just get down there on the ground or something?
Oh, there goes another.
We're clear. All right. Well done, all. Open the gate.
Okay.
Well, I guess they're gonna open the gate and you can come down here and loot shit.
Yeah.
Guess that survivor. Survivor. I don't think that's much of a survivor. I think that survivor has seen better days.
Yeah, that survivor did not survive. Oh, look at this. We got ourselves a legendary bolt-action shotgun with a 25% faster fire rate and 15% faster reload.
Go figure.
Well, I like shotguns. Maybe play around with that a little bit.
Yeah. See how fast the faster fire rate is?
Well, the thing about the bolt-action shotgun, as you well know, since you helped to create it, is that while it hits a little less hard than most of the other shotgun weapons, it has more range.
Yep.
And you get less damage drop-off over longer ranges than you do with other standard type shotguns.
Yeah, it just kind of does the same damage all throughout.
So the trade-off is less base damage, but more effective at longer ranges.
Yep.
Avery.
And now you see what we're up against. The fog and the creatures it spits out have taken the whole island from my people. But for your help when we needed it, you deserve this.
Well.
If you managed to survive despite all that, you must be tough.
Ornery, more like.
I'm done cowering behind your damn hull, Avery. Time you let me deal with the real problem. With the right people and my guns, I can end those Children of Adam cultists for good.
The fog's been here forever. The children didn't make it.
Before the Rat Eaters came, the fog was under control.
Well.
They come, and it all goes wrong. It's time we do something.
No need to burden the stranger with all this nonsense.
Can we get back to business?
Sorry for all that. You're here for Kasumi, right? She headed inland to the Synth Refuge, Acadia. Getting there
Well, I'm not really here for Kasumi, but, you know.
Old Longfellow. No one knows the fog like him. But, word of warning, he's a bit of an acquired taste.
Thanks for the info.
Best place to look for Longfellow's at the bar. The last plank. And, please, lend a hand around town if you're able. Even if it's slapped away. People like the Mariner and Cassie and others need help. And let me say something you might not hear again. Thank you.
Okay. Anyway, so we have arrived in Far Harbor. And I think we're going to call it an episode here. Because we have gone just a little bit over an hour.
Alrighty.
So we'll continue to make our way toward the goal set to us by Mr. Dr. Pepper in the next episode.
Alright.
And we're going to ignore Kasumi and the Far Harbor thing.
Screw your missing daughter. I'll take
Yeah.
your caps and do whatever the hell I want with them.
Well, you know, maybe we'll pick this up later at some point, but I really want to get the Left Field Diner storyline done so that we can make the attempt at starting off the Fens Sheriff Department, because that'll be something entirely new that I have never played before.
All right.
But anyway, until then,
I'm Ep55.
And I'm Sandman 99.
Have a good one.